something that has been achieved through, through economic means. So I would just like to put to rest the fact, or your implication, that it is the demographic winter that is bringing down the economies of the society, because there's absolutely, Mr. Speaker, trust me, there is absolutely no basis in fact for this. Unfortunately, the causes are more mundane. It has to do with lack of control of speculative capital. It has to do with failure to generate employment. It has to do with bad economic policies, but not the demographic winter. So let us please disabuse ourselves that the demographic winter is a cause of economic decline in the advanced societies at this point.
Mr. Speaker, I disagree with the proposition that no self-respecting economist would propose demographic winter as a cause of that. Because I think I heard it from an economist. I think there are economists who are renowned, who are respected, and who use that line. The demographic winter is a cause or even a consequence. The cause or consequence of the consequence mentalities that an indication of the weakening of a nation's system. Because it's not the reason how can an economy, become essentially using the logic of an ignorance like this, how can an economy be said to be robust when no one is working anymore? When the vast majority of the population already weakened by age, disease, or maybe we all die. What would happen to our economy when we are all dead and there are no children or grandchildren to replace us? That Filipino people, Filipino nation would become extinct, Mr. Speaker. And that is the logic of democratic winter, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, I think that this, I have followed analysis regarding the issues related to the economic crisis in the West, in developing countries and others, and I really have to say that even in the current crisis in Europe at this point in time, and the current crisis in the United States, nobody, absolutely nobody, mentions demographic winter as a cause of this. You see, Mr. Speaker, the situation is that labor has become so productive in so many of these countries, and also our countries surrounding us at this point, so that even if there's a greater proportion of people above 60 in the population, in fact, because labor has become so productive, you can do the same output with fewer people, and that has been, in fact, the common, the common experience, that in fact labor becomes more productive as there is more investment, there is more capital, so that in fact fewer people can do the same or even a greater amount of work. That's the way that economies in fact work. So that this is why no economist would say that the economic crisis in Japan, in the US, or in Europe at this point has been caused by demographic winter. Now, I don't know which economist you are talking about, Mr. Speaker, but I would like to know who this is, because probably they're trying to pass themselves off as economists, whereas in fact they're theologians.
They might be sorting my but let me aside, this presentation is not an economist, and I will admit ignorance of the science of economics, depending on the science. But
and a large population base continuing to reproduce even at a decelerated rate. I think we can, I would just like to say, Mr. Speaker, that what we face in the short and medium term is not demographic winter in the Philippines. We really face, the problem of, in contrast to demographic winter, a population growth rate that is in fact quite uncontrolled at this point in time. And so let's put the whole idea of demographic winter, if indeed it happens, that's about 100 years away. What we really need to deal more now is how do we promote reproductive health? How do we promote an appropriate balance between the environment and the population? How, in fact, we practice responsible parenthood and responsible reproductive health. This is really the key issues that we need to talk about at this point.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I said earlier, I am the colleagues. We don't understand much of the economics that our speakers sponsor discuss. But my concern is, who will support an aging population when there are no young people to take their place in the workforce?
Mr. Speaker, the reality is, and let me just, could I just cite some figures to you regarding what we really face, and what we really face is not a demographic winter. Let me just put it this way. Okay. According to the latest United Nations estimate, the total fertility rate in the Philippines, which is the expected number of children that a woman of reproductive health will produce, is at the moment and will continue to be much above the replacement level of 2. It stands at 3.1 today and is projected to be 2.8 in 2010-2015, 2.64 in 2015-2020, and 2.48 in 2020-2025. Replacement rate is 2. So these figures are above the average total fertility rate for the world in all of these periods. So the problem really that we face at this point is not demographic winter, but really a very high fertility rate. As a result of an intractable total fertility rate, the country's population is expected to rise from 93 million in 2010 to 155 million by 2050, that is by 66%. The United Nations projection for 2100 is 178 million Filipinos. In 2009, the Philippines was the 12th largest country population-wise. In 2050, it is expected to rise to 11th place, and by 2100, it is expected to have the 9th largest population in the world. Now, this is the UN scenario. Let me give you the scenario of the Youth Population Institute, which is the foremost demographic center in the country. According to the institute, had the country attained replacement level fertility of 2 in 2010, which it did not, the population would still have continued to grow and reach 150 million in 2060, after which it would have stabilized. If the replacement level fertility is arrived in 2030, which is more realistic according to demographers, the population will stabilize at 200 million in 2080. Under a less optimistic scenario of replacement level fertility being attained even later, say in 2050, the population will stabilize at more than 250 million towards the last big years of of the century. So, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, what we're really, facing here is a population momentum that is creating what is, numbers which many would say are quite unsustainable in terms of the carrying capacity of the country at this point in time. So let me just say that the demographic winter scenario is very far away, if indeed it will take place. And I don't think that we can use this to scare people away from the rational basis of the reproductive health bill. I would say, Mr. Speaker, let us use reason rather than scare tactics in order to be able to debate this issue very well. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, we will probably not reach agreement on whether or not our country is facing the demographic winter. We will be facing the demographic winter in the past bill. But what is becoming clear is that this bill is an anti-population measure. It is becoming clear that the object, philosophy underlying this bill, is one of population control. May I know if I'm correct in that understanding?
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, you're calling from Palawan. No. Very clear to all of us, the sponsors of the bill, that the object of the bill is to promote reproductive health, among which are the reduction of maternal mortality, child mortality, and the ability of families to be able to plan the size of their families and to space their children. Now, one of the consequences of the bill will in fact be if you give the choice and the methods to families to be able to plan their size of their family, that the sense is that indeed the family size will grow smaller. Because if you look at statistic after statistic, and I think this is going to be good on the graph, is that there is a direct correlation between the size of the family and poverty. And if you relate this to the unmet need, which people have constantly said that they really need to be able to have access to information as well as to methods of reproductive health, then one of the byproducts of the promotion of reproductive health would be a positive effect on the population, on the size of the population. So there is no demographic target to this bill. Go through the bill, there's no demographic target to it at all. But we're just saying is that by healthy reproductive health methods, that one of the consequences of this will be smaller family sizes, therefore a positive impact in terms of the rise and size and growth of the population and the rate of fertility. So we're really talking about the main aim. The main aim of the bill is really to be able to provide the methods, information, so that reproductive health will be fostered